What's a TV series that everyone should give a go? True Detective S1. Each season is a self-contained mini-series. Mindhunter. It was refreshing to see a Netflix series like that. Please watch it, Mr. Robot. But you need to just commit to watching to the end. The first 3 seasons are incredibly well done, but build up so much confusion. That confusion is important, because Season 4 just lets loose with absolute satisfaction with every episode. One Season 4 episode counts as one of the best hours of TV I have ever watched. So, yeah, Mr. Robot. Dark for those who love mysteries and brain fucks. If you like mostly realistic space sci-fi and political machinations. The Expanse. No warp drives. No phaser beam weapons. No artificial gravity. Actual orbital mechanics. They build spaceships like skyscrapers, not ocean-going ships. Because when you think about it, it just makes sense. Space is dangerous and unforgiving. Resources are low, and people are still people. No utopia kumbaya. It starts kind of slow for some people. Really slow. But it spends those first episodes doing some really interesting world building that pays off in spades later on in the series. Chernobyl. 6 Feet Under. The writing and the acting in this series is so good that it feels like you're watching an actual family. There's great character development. Every character has flaws and positive things about them that make you hate and love them. This show deals with loss and grief in such a powerful way. This show also has the best season finales of any show. Blackadder. What We Do in the Shadows. I had heard about this many times but hesitated to watch it because I'm really not into vampire shows, movies, books, or really anything supernatural. I just think it's dumb. But I watched one episode of this and was hooked. For anyone who doesn't know, it's about a group of vampires who live together in a house in Staten Island. Present day. It's a mockumentary, so think The Office and Parks and Rec. Please nobody spoil it for me. I'm only on EP 7 of Season 1. The Wire. The Twilight Zone. I mean the original series. Because it is such a great work of television and 60 years later so many of the episodes still hold up. Derry Girls. It's about a group of Catholic schoolgirls and boy and is based in Ireland during the Troubles. Silly, hilarious and on Netflix. Gravity Falls. Fargo on FX. Also, I know cartoons aren't for everyone, but BoJack Horseman is more insightful than a lot of serious dramas I've seen. Broadchurch. Party Down. Futurama. This series was pretty solid throughout its run and had a very beautiful ending. Peep Show All Day Every Day. Barry! Amazing writing and acting. Hilariously dark story about a hitman turned theater actor in LA. I am anxiously awaiting Season 3 and hope Bill Hader made big bucks for it too since that burned him out and put Barry S3 on hold. Flushed. Community. Ozark. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. 6 Feet Under. Emo. Star Trek. The Next Generation and Star Trek. Deep Space Nine are together essential viewing for everyone. The two shows complement each other beautifully, with TNG showing us the wonder and that the future brings with new technology, while DS9 balances it out with a mirror to our darker side and warns what would happen if we're not careful. TNG is about exploring strange new worlds and seeking out new civilizations, while DS9 fully develops them into proper unique societies. Captain Picard is a great diplomat and explorer, while Captain Sisko is a down-to-earth family man who's not afraid to get his hands dirty. Other than that, definitely watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. But I'd say you're going to get a lot of suggestions for that, so I wanted to offer something different. Hannibal. Yes, it got cancelled, but it's one of my favorite shows in years. Everything about it is incredible. Fringe. Parks and Recreation. First season is meh, but it just gets better and better. The Leftovers and Watchmen. Both of these shows have stuck with me from the day they finished airing. The Leftovers has one of the most beautiful series finales I have ever seen. Watchmen is timely with its messages, while also being incredibly entertaining. Battlestar Galactica, Firefly, Burn Notice. It has Bruce Campbell in a major supporting role. Also, Ash vs. Evil Dead. It stars Bruce Campbell. And Communication. Pushing Daisies. I swear no one has ever seen this show. It has everything. It's dark. It's funny. It's absolutely beautiful aesthetically. It has one of the best romance plots in any show I've ever seen. The show follows the pie maker, who can bring people back from the dead by touch but only for 60 seconds before another life is randomly taken. This meets with hijinks when he teams up with a private investigator in a dark, whimsical world. I stick by the reason it was cancelled is because it made every other show on the station look like shit by comparison. Also, if you want to get your depression on, Carnival, another stunningly beautiful show that shares the healer at a cost theme. This show is not funny or happy though. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Obligatory edit because of silver and gold, thank you. The Good Place. Schitt's Creek. It's simultaneously heartwarming and clever, which is a combination you don't see often. Peaky fucking Blinders. Psych. I quite like Travelers. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has been on the best shows on TV for 14 years now. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Silicon Valley is hilarious. The IT Crowd. Coupling, a BBC show from 2000. It's a fantastic comedy with endlessly quotable lines and takes on new relationships. Stargate SG-1. One I haven't seen yet. Justified. It's about a U.S. Marshal being reassigned to Kentucky where he grew up and dealing with his family, friends who are a bit on the shady side. It's kind of a Western. It has that vibe a little. But there are tons of good parts and great guest stars. Then, after watching Timothy Olyphant be a badass for several seasons, watch him in Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix where he plays a kind of wimpy suburban dad, husband. It's hilarious. Edit thought of another show, Mr. In Between. It's an Australian show about a hitman criminal and his life. It's more of a dramedy but it's on FX and I really like it. The guy that plays Dewey Crowe on Justified is in it, which is why I thought of it. BBC's Sherlock and Fleabag. Clone Wars. Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Community. Person of Interest. The first season is kind of basic but still needed for the story. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra is optional. The Dragon Prince. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Breaking Bad. Stranger Things. Gravity Falls. South Park. Breaking Bad. Killing Eve. Scrubs. Black Mirror. Each episode is self-contained so you don't have to commit to the long haul to get the entire story. It's like Twilight Zone. Skip the first episode if you're squeamish. But please no spoilers because it's best watched knowing as little about it as possible. The Sopranos. Recently finished it and my life got a whole lot better. Also, the finale is delicious. Orphan Black. Legion. BoJack Horseman. House MD. 24. The first 5 seasons of Supernatural. Stranger Things. Edit also Broadchurch. The Americans. It's not very known but it was a really good show. Definitely deserves more recognition. The In-Betweeners. Bob's Burgers. It's funny, heartwarming, and also has one of the healthiest portrayals of family I've seen. The dynamic between Bob and Linda and their kids is one of my favorite parts about it. With everything going on, this show is one of the few things helping me stay sane. Person of Interest. 30 Rock. The Nick. Largely unwatched show about the Knickerbocker Hospital in New York in the early 1900s. Stellar performances all round and some of Clive Owen's best work ever. The writing is incredible, the plot is engaging, and the overall production values are astounding. I don't know anyone else who has watched it. Arrested Development. There are 3 seasons, just FYI. But there really weren't. Deadwood. The plot is excellent. The characters are compelling, and the dialogue is downright Shakespearean. Letterkenny. Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of the funniest shows ever made. Doctor Who. The fans like me are real nerdy. But the show is good and there are so many things you can learn from it. Community! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Oldish show, but recently added to Netflix. During quarantine I've watched the whole show twice now. It's safe to say it's my favorite. Oh, and it has Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, in it. That's pretty cool. The Shield. Before The Shield, basic cable was essentially Wings reruns and other such crap. It was previously thought that basic cable wasn't a viable place for quality original programming. Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, It's Always Sunny, etc. would not have been around if The Shield didn't come about. It's one of the most important shows produced in the last 20 years. Here's the beauty of the show. The first episode tells you everything you need to know. It's not all black and white like other cop shows. You just have to watch one episode. If you don't like, that's 45 minutes of something original. But you didn't like. If you did like it, you got like 6 seasons of this to enjoy. Sounds like a good gamble to me. It was released along the same time as The Wire. And while it's a completely different show, The Shield is extremely fast-paced. A lot of people blame The Shield for stealing The Wire's thunder as these were the two premier cop shows around. That's why, even though it's brilliant and the critics loved it, it doesn't get as much love as it should. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The end of the ******ing world. Scrubs just for the mixture of humor and sincerity also goes well with Fake Doctor's Real Friends podcast. Patriot. This 2-season Amazon series is some of the best television ever made. Lost, The West Wing, Gravity Falls, Edit and Blackadder, Dexter, at least up to season 5. It is some of the most well-crafted television out there. The Great British Bake Off. The BBC seasons.